Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WWE has successfully built a stacked card for WrestleMania 41, and the excitement for the grandest stage of them all is at an all-time high. Some huge matches have been confirmed for the show of shows, and storylines have been building up very well, leading into another spectacular edition of WrestleMania. Some of the biggest names are set to be part of the grandest stage of them all, and massive matches have been confirmed for the megastars of the industry. However, there are a few superstars who deserve much better booking than they have received. Triple H has managed to build several stars on the road to WrestleMania, but has failed to deliver his potential with some stars, which might end up being a big blow for the industry. With a stage like WrestleMania, every superstar has emotions attached and dreams set, but the game has struggled to deliver when it comes to these particular stars. Former women's champion Alexa Bliss made a giant return to WWE during the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match. The star quickly became a major attraction following her return, but was taken off TV soon after due to the absence of any storyline for her. With the Wyatt Six sidelined, Bliss has remained off TV. Given her absence over the past few weeks, she might not be a part of this year's WrestleMania. Even if she is brought back on TV now, she might not be able to get a massive match confirmed for the show. The 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, is set to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at the grandest stage of them all. While WWE has put a lot of momentum on Uso following his massive Rumble victory, the storyline between both men has been somewhat underwhelming. Jey Uso has managed to garner a lot of attention from fans for the dream he has been trying to accomplish at WrestleMania. Millions around the world have lost interest in the showdown due to the poor build-up to the match. One of the biggest stars in the industry who deserves much more than he is currently receiving is Drew McIntyre. The former World Heavyweight Champion is regarded as one of the top-tier stars in the industry, but when compared to the other names on the list, McIntyre appears to be facing the most underwhelming showdown. While the Scottish Warrior's match isn't official yet, it is clear that he would face Damian Priest at WrestleMania 41, which has not been a massive attraction for the WWE universe. Over the past few months, Triple H has not been very kind to the hard work McIntyre has put into the industry, which fans acknowledge every single day. As the landscape of WWE evolves, there's always a new wave of excitement leading to one of the biggest spectacles in sports entertainment, WrestleMania. However, the road to this grand event is often filled with twists, turns, and unexpected power plays. For WWE fans, the build-up to WrestleMania can also be marked by moments when superstars find themselves at the mercy of the company's most powerful figures. One such figure is Triple H, a man who has held significant influence both behind the scenes and inside the squared circle for decades. But sometimes his influence has led to the downfall of certain WWE stars. Whether due to personal rivalries, business moves, or storyline decisions, Triple H has been responsible for derailing several careers on the road to WrestleMania. Here are 3 WWE stars Triple H did dirty on the road to WrestleMania 41. Seth Rollins, arguably one of the most talented in-ring performers in WWE, found himself facing a situation at WrestleMania 41 that could have been a career-defining moment, only for Triple H to betray him at the most critical juncture. While Rollins had his eyes set on a main event spot, Triple H, ever the mastermind behind the scenes, made sure that Rollins was left out of the biggest match of the year. Let's rewind to the weeks leading up to the grand event. Seth Rollins had worked hard to put on stellar performances, putting the company's interests above all else. He had the talent, the fan base, and the momentum heading into WrestleMania 41. However, as the event drew nearer, the storyline shifted, and Triple H inserted himself into the narrative. Rather than recognizing Rollins' work, Triple H used his influence to push his own agenda. In a shocking turn, Rollins was inserted into a meaningless mid-card match, while Triple H ensured that the spotlight would fall on other superstars like Austin Theory and Drew McIntyre, leaving Rollins in the dust. The betrayal didn't stop there. Triple H, ever the villain, found a way to play puppet master behind the scenes, making sure that Rollins' personal frustrations were incorporated into his storyline, making him appear desperate and not quite up to par with other top stars. As a result, Rollins was forced to wrestle a match that felt like a consolation prize rather than a main event spot. Despite his best efforts to work through the situation, Seth Rollins ended up losing the match, continuing a trend where his hard work was overshadowed by Triple H's desire to focus on other stars. This was a moment when Triple H's control over the narrative left Rollins, one of the most over and hard-working WWE superstars, sidelined just when he was ready to take the next step. Bray Wyatt, the eerie and enigmatic figure known for his mind games and creepy promos, was another WWE superstar who found himself on the receiving end of Triple H's backstage maneuvers. Leading up to WrestleMania 41, Wyatt was enjoying a massive resurgence in popularity. After his return to the company, he quickly became a major talking point for the fans, who eagerly anticipated his showdown at WrestleMania. Wyatt had built a compelling storyline with his new character, the mysterious Uncle Howdy persona, which had the potential to create one of the most compelling rivalries of the year. Fans were convinced that this would lead to a huge match at WrestleMania 41, perhaps with a high-profile opponent like Roman Reigns, or even a returning star like The Rock. The stage was set for Wyatt to capitalize on the momentum he had built. But as the weeks went on, Triple H's fingerprints started to appear all over Wyatt's storyline. Rather than nurturing Wyatt's momentum, Triple H seemed to sabotage it. The bizarre, cryptic promos continued, but they lacked direction. Wyatt was slowly drawn into a feud with LA Knight, a program that, while entertaining, didn't have the same high stakes or emotional depth that fans expected from a Wyatt-led WrestleMania feud. Wyatt, whose dark character was poised for a big-time clash, was relegated to a secondary position, and instead of competing in a marquee match, he found himself tangled in a narrative that felt underwhelming. Triple H's interference could be seen in how Wyatt's creative direction was handled. The rivalry with Knight, while decent, lacked the build-up to make it a true WrestleMania spectacle. Wyatt was left standing in the shadows, with his dark and unpredictable character reduced to just another mid-card act. The culmination of Wyatt's path to WrestleMania was marred by Triple H's inability to fully commit to what was working for the fans, leaving Wyatt with a lackluster position at the biggest stage of all. Cody Rhodes, a former WWE star who left the company, reinvented himself on the indie circuit and eventually returned as a massive star, appeared to be on the road to greatness leading up to WrestleMania 41. Having solidified himself as a main event talent, there was an undeniable sense that the 2025 edition of the Show of Shows would be Cody's time to shine, the culmination of his journey, where he would finally capture the WWE Championship. But in the weeks leading up to the event, Triple H's political game threw a wrench in his plans. While fans clamored for Cody to face Roman Reigns at the biggest event of the year, it quickly became apparent that Triple H had different ideas. Although Cody had earned the main event status, Triple H manipulated the situation to keep Reigns' reign intact. The story was supposed to be about Rhodes overcoming the odds and achieving his long-awaited dream of holding the top title. Yet Triple H found ways to disrupt this narrative. There were several behind-the-scenes power plays made to keep Reigns strong, even at the cost of Cody's momentum. In a move that shocked many fans, Triple H inserted a series of unwarranted roadblocks, such as forcing Cody into meaningless matches with underwhelming stipulations, or booking a series of increasingly questionable promos that diluted the emotional connection Cody had with the audience. Triple H also extended Reigns' reign longer than originally planned, making it less likely that Cody would walk out of the event as champion, despite the massive fan support. In the end, WrestleMania 41 felt like a missed opportunity for Cody. While he did have a prominent spot, it was clear that Triple H was more invested in preserving Roman Reigns' dominance than putting over the rightful challenger. As a result, Cody's path to the top became more convoluted than necessary, and the payoff, while still significant, wasn't the monumental moment it could have been had Triple H not played the political games that ultimately hurt Cody's ascension. The road to WrestleMania 41 was a rocky one for these three WWE stars, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Cody Rhodes. While each of them had the potential for huge storylines and career-defining moments, Triple H's influence behind the scenes played a major role in derailing their journeys. Whether it was taking away their main event spots, disrupting their storylines, or injecting unnecessary complications, Triple H's fingerprints were all over their disappointments. For fans, it was a reminder that the road to WrestleMania isn't always paved with gold, and sometimes it's filled with detours and political maneuvering that leave the most deserving stars on the sideline.